Miss a day, miss a whole lot.
Coming through your speakers, boy.
It's Wendy, man.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the studio taking the wrapping off of my new my new Warren G CD. All right.
All right.
I've made contact with the Warren G camp.
Yes.
And he'll be in New York in the coming weeks, and he will be a guest on this show.
All right now.
And when he's here, I don't want to hear any crickets.
No, that's not me. Warren, just regulate.
No, you played crickets when I said that he's got an album coming out.
I didn't slip with the button?
Yeah, you didn't slip. You played the crickets over and over again.
Oh.
And I want you to know that he's put it down. There's 18 songs on this CD, and I plan on putting it in my changer. If I could just break away from that Young Jeezy CD for just a moment in my car. Jeezy had a party in New York City last night. The block was hot. Cops checking for people with license plate. Well, that's a perfect place to see who's doing dirt in the city and get them. Either going into the party or coming out to the party. Get them on a double, Charge them for, gun possession or something and get somebody on some DWI at the same time. So, for a minute there, I was teetering on going to the Jeezy party last night, but it was just too hectic. So I went home. Oh, sorry. I said, this is my brother's number. Why the hell would he be calling? Excuse me, I'm going to put my phone on silent, and then whatever you have to say, you can call. Hello? Good.
Oh.
Excuse me, let me just turn this down. School must be out of session. Yeah, school's out.
They didn't have school today, I don't think.
They didn't?
Yom Kippur.
Oh, right. Yeah. Not in Newark. Yom Kippur. Not in the Newark public school system. All right, so shout out to all the aspiring video models. Shout out to all the models, period. Listen, I got a website for you guys to go to. It's called Hood Top Models. HoodTopModels.com. That's the website that you go to if you think you've got what it takes and, you want to check out what all's going on. Go to Hood Top Models.
Yes.
And take a look at their website.
It's hot.
You might be able to register to model, and next thing you know, you're in local fashion shows, and before you know it, you're hitting the runway in Milan.
Uh-oh.
You got to start someplace.
Start in the hood.
I love you sitting around all day listening to this radio show, but really, this show is not going to do anything for your career by way of listening. However, I just gave you a tip. Hood Top Models. Now, let me give you another tip. There are females and male models who are needed for Shaggy's new video called Broadway. Now, I'm going to give you the date, the address, and the time. If you really want to cheesecake it and get to this video shoot, then you'll write fast, okay? It's Shaggy's music video for his song called Broadway. And, excuse me, the song's not called Broadway. It's Broadway, I think, is the casting company. Anyway, it's tomorrow, Friday, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. In other words, midnight. 9 p.m. to midnight. It's going to be happening at a place called Fashion 40 Lounge. Fashion 40 Lounge. It's on 202 West 40th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue in New York City. The director is Jason Williams.
Oh. Oh, no, Sam. Oh.
Not Jason Williams, who did Gus in. Not that Jason Williams. From the Nets. This is another Jason Williams.
What you doing? Who's not advice yet?
Well, I advise you to get down there.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. You got the address, 202 West 40th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. The place is called Fashion 40 Lounge. Tomorrow, Friday. Yeah, between 9 p.m. and midnight. Okay. I want to talk with you all about something that has been going on in my household. And it's not strange to many people, but I need your help. My husband... What do you want me to say next?
Uh-oh.
See, my husband discovered late last week that the man that he thought was his father is not his father.
What?
And he's handling it like a champ. And, you know, my part is to let him handle this with his family or the people that he knows are his family, and then you know, other people surrounding. My part in this is just to, you know, wear my MRS proudly and hold our household down. His last, I don't know who Hunter is. I mean, he knows who Hunter is now. That's his last name. But Mr. Hunter is not my husband Kevin's father. And my husband is one of 3 children. He's got a younger brother. We know who his father is. My husband's in the middle. My husband's got a big sister, Kim. Hey, Kim. Kim and Kevin were always under the impression that their father was Mr. Hunter. It has come out that Kim is Mr. Hunter's daughter, and my husband doesn't know who his father is. He's not getting the answers that, well, he, you know, how many days has it been? It's been many days. He has not gotten the answers. And I mean, so the question is still out there. I guess the reason why, well, first of all, he knows that I'm talking to you about it, because one thing that I can say about this 50,000 watt flamethrower microphone is it gets the job done. He is from Brownsville, Brooklyn, and his father is somewhere out there. So you know how to get in touch with me. If you all know anything, and I'm speaking to Brooklyn right now, if you all know anything that can help my husband piece together his family tree, it would be greatly appreciated. And so his name is Kevin. His given name is Hunter, but that's not his father's. That's not his father.
His biological. Right.
And Mr. Hunter has already stepped up and said, you know, no, you know, I am not, and so on and so forth. And but nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. And so he wants answers. I want answers for him.
Yeah.
Do you know who your father is? Can we make that a people poll question for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Does everybody in this room raise your hand if you know exactly who your father is? All right, so there's 4 people. We all know. You know, as an adult, sometimes I guess maybe you think, well, because his life is now a million miles away from Brownsville. He's totally in another place, you know, than Brownsville, Brooklyn, in terms of where he lives physically, but also where his mentality is. But he's created this beautiful son, and somewhere there's a grandfather with this great grandson and a crazy daughter-in-law. That would be me. You know, who makes a mean lasagna and keeps a tidy house, but has crazy ways. And he just wants to know. Do you all know who your fathers are? And does it hurt any less if you're told that somebody is not your father when you're 15, when you're 20, or when you're, 33?
Sometimes it affects people deeply.
It took me by surprise, all of this, and it's affected him in a lot of ways, including, am I predisposed to prostate cancer. You know, like health questions. Health questions. You just want to know. Health questions and connecting with that man. How would life have been if there was a father or a father figure? Because there was neither for him. But how would life be now if I grew up with a father, or at least knowing where my father was, knowing that there was somebody, you know, giving me that extra push and whatnot.
And I take it Mom isn't around to answer, right?
No, Mrs. Hunter's, yeah, she's around.
And she can't answer?
I'm not at liberty to talk about that.
Okay.
But that's my mother-in-law, you know, Mrs. Hunter. But Kim is happy. Kim's connected with her dad. She's happy. She was at the comedy club last night.
Oh, okay.
You know. Younger brother Keith, he always knew who his father was. But the middle child, Kevin, my husband, is, you know, and it's not, and it still affects, even though, you know, you've created your own family and whatnot, it still affects. I've never dealt with a situation like this, and, you know, I've turned into Brie Vanderkamp when work is over. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've always, you know, kept a clean house and been about my business and order and family and all like that, but I feel as though, you know, I'm clinging even tighter to, you know, like, no matter what, it's going to be okay. You know, you got me, we got our son, you know, it's the three of us. Whoa, family. But there's more to it than that, as I'm finding out, because I've never been in this situation before. There's more to it. People want to know where they come from, because where you come from is part of where you're going. At the very least, how you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're predisposed to certain things, and he wants to connect. He wants to.
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people don't. And sometimes, you know, you think, you know, because, you know, how somebody's disposition is, or how somebody acts or whatever, that, you know, maybe they're too hardened to even care about connecting, because, you know, it's about the paper and, you know, the grunt. No. It's about family. It's about family. So, you know, if you know anything, is my email set up, Art? Or are you still trying to set it up?
Oh, no. She's going to get back to me.
Okay, but I need an email now.
Yeah.
So
more than like, because I told her it's going to be Wendy at the Wendy Williams.
Yeah, okay, but that's not now. Right now, I need to, because there could be somebody in Brownsville, Brooklyn, or somebody in Brooklyn that knows something. So I am here for another few hours, and I'm here every day the same time. And my fax number is 866 Wendy fax. You know my telephone number is 866-GET-WENDY. And I'll give you my assistant, Nicole. You can do Nicole at WBLS.com.
I have a girl, right, for 10 years. Like half of it, I've been in jail like 5 years. I come home recently, right, and I come to find out now she's dealing with women. I don't have no problem with that, you know what I mean?
As long as you can be in on it.
Yeah.
The Wendy Williams Experience.